Hey guys, sorry. My live just canceled on me really quick. My bad. But hello, welcome to the next episode of Chat E. Kind of hard at this point to keep up with what days we're on. Usually still Sundays at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but tonight we have a fun addition. Some rescheduling and all of that jazz, but really fun to have everyone. Hi Jose, how are ya? Hi Marco. What's everyone up to? How you doing? Alright, I got this. For a fun evening. Hi G. Hi Cass. Everyone, so fun. How you doing? It is a fun week we're having, isn't it, Carlos? This is so fun. Craziness. Don't know why it's taking a long time. Hi Shara. Hi guys. I don't know why it's not loading right away, but maybe I have to cancel and try again. Oh, here, it's okay. Alrighty, and I just tried again. So hopefully this time it's gonna work. I was going through everything on my phone to try it out. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yay!
How are you?
Good.
Every once in a while there's like some kind of little issue, but I think that might have been on my end because my Wi-Fi on my computer a second ago wasn't working, so I just turned it off.
Okay.
So sorry about that. How you doing?
I'm gonna press something. I don't know. Hold on. Oh, I can't see myself, but I can see you, so that's all that matters.
You can't see yourself?
No, but that's okay. I don't need to see myself. I know what I look like.
Okay, are you sure? We can always start it over again. I'm not sure why you can't, because I can see you. Everyone else can see you.
All right, perfect.
Okay, awesome. Well, hi everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Chat E. Chat E is an opportunity for young entrepreneurs and people doing awesome things in the world to share about their businesses and just give a little spiel about what got them started, how they got to where they are now, and just share with the world what they're made of. So tonight's guest is MacLeod. She's absolutely amazing. I came across her on Instagram, and she is the creator of Simply Need. And Simply Need is a business based off of sensory Play-Doh kits. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
So she is the creator of lots of really awesome, crazy, cool sensory Play-Doh kits. And we are here this evening to find out her story. How are you? I'm seriously so glad to have you tonight.
I'm great. I didn't have to put the kids to bed, so I am A-okay.
Perfect. Yeah. This is right around bedtime, so sorry about that.
No, that's what husbands are for, right?
Right, exactly. Do you want to kind of give an intro about your business and just about you?
Well, I am a former fourth grade teacher. I have two young daughters, and we all love art. And I ended up leaving the classroom to obviously bring them up, and they weren't quite in elementary school yet.
Mm-hmm.
And art's just been a big part of our life and keeping them busy. So it all kind of started with that. We would do a lot of hands-on activities, and Play-Doh being one of them. And that's kind of where it came from. There are other types of like sensory Play-Doh kits out there, but
Yeah.
we loved it. And we would incorporate all different types of toys to go with the Play-Doh, just not the, the Play-Doh in the can and make a mess on the counter. We would just try to pull different things from what we had in the house and just letting them explore kind of do their own thing, and they kind of direct their own play.
Right, absolutely. So initially these started for your children, but then you decided that you thought, or you realized that other people would benefit from these as well. So you started creating them for other people too.
So Instagram is definitely an amazing platform, and seeing the girls and playing with them. The moms club in my town started to like message me saying, oh, those are so where did you get them? And "No, I make them. Oh, you should start selling them." So it kind
For
of
sure.
into that. I was leaving, little packages for moms around town on my porch, and they would pick up, and
Right.
it became a little bit crazy trying to, finagle it. So I decided to get a website. So it kind of snowballed into something more than I had planned.
Mm-hmm. That's really, I feel like the most exciting types of businesses come out of things that you're just initially having fun with. All of a
Right,
sudden, they become something you never would have expected.
right.
So I have my degree in early childhood and special education. So I work with children. I'm actually working for myself right now, but I am a teacher. And so a lot of the kids that I work with, both with and without special needs, would really benefit from these types of kits and just have so much fun. So we'll kind of dive into like the different types of kits that you have as we go on, like the different themes and everything like that. But I've found something as like I look through all your stuff that each one of them would like for sure.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, of course, you're so welcome. So this is a big question that people are always wondering about. When you're starting a new business, like you said, initially it wasn't your plan for this to be a
Mm-hmm.
business, you were just doing it for fun for your kids. But when you're starting a new business, you do end up having to like spend money on materials and all of those things. So have you kind of, as you've built and learned, have you created a like fund that's kind of like separate for your business based off of everything else, or how did you kind of get started with funding for what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I think that's always the hardest part.
Yeah,
And my husband's big quote is to make money, you have to spend money.
sure,
And
of course.
it's so hard to do that or kind of take that leap of faith saying, you know what,
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy all of this hoping that, I'll make it back and more, So I
right.
think that has been definitely the biggest challenge for me and kind of gauging too of, even like themes coming up, whether it be Christmas or
Sure.
Thanksgiving or Easter, like how do you gauge like how much you're gonna buy and like what happens when
Absolutely.
you don't sell, you know?
Sure.
I've been very conservative and sometimes I wish I had bought more, but I'm at the point where I just kind of do what's comfortable.
Of
Um,
course.
and my time too, I only have a certain amount of time I can really put towards this every week.
Hmm.
So I would love to have it be a full-time thing, but I pretty much order what I can manage and get out and hopefully get some kind of return.
No, absolutely. And for anyone wanting to start a business or go after a new venture, like you said, you have to invest in yourself if you want to make any kind of profit or be successful. So I think that's really great that you've grasped onto that and know that, but that's a really big thing and it is important. And I think staying comfortable, especially in the beginning stages as get started and grow is like really the way to be.
And I think sometimes it's hard to, I mean, at the beginning I was buying like little cream tartar containers,
Hmm.
$1.50, and I
Right.
was going to the job lot and just like putting them all in my basket and just really realizing that there's easier ways to, get cream tartar in bulk or flour in bulk instead of going to the store and like buying the 5-gallon bags and bringing them, putting them in your trunk. It's like so much easier to just, maybe it might cost a little bit more to buy it at first run,
Yep.
but it
Yep.
just in the long run is going to make sense.
No,
But
I definitely agree.
spending like $100 on flour is sometimes hard to swallow.
For sure. No,
Or
yeah.
dollars on flour, you're like, what am I doing?
Right, right, right. So that's actually really cool. So if you're spending all of this money on flour, so that means that all of the Play-Doh that you're making or that is in your kits, you're making yourself?
Yes, and I think there are other free kits that are out there. I
Hmm.
do make it from scratch. Sometimes I
That's
think
cool.
I'm at um, making it from scratch, having two little ones at home. So
Hmm.
I my KitchenAid mixer, and sometimes I'll have three lined up on my kitchen island, and each batch makes about like six little balls.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so I'm just, I make all my Play-Doh and then put it in these like big bins. So yeah, it's like a Play-Doh factory on Saturdays.
That's
But
so
it's
fun.
out of my kitchen,
Hmm.
and my kids are home.
Right, right, right. I bet it gets crazy, but it's so fun flying off the shelves with all different colors. I've seen some of your stuff is glittery and sparkly, so I feel like it all comes out super different and it all looks so much fun. A
There's
question below
like
just asked, oh, go ahead.
there's a layer of flour, I think, all over my kitchen.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only
The
imagine.
cleaning lady probably wonders why.
Right, that's so funny. Maybe next time on our way, I'll just hand her a little bag of Play-Doh, and then she'll be like, "Ah, makes sense." Do your kids ever help you during the process when you're making your Play-Doh?
Not really so much making the Play-Doh. I think they're kind of like over that. I
Yeah.
mean, they've never done that. It's been 2 years now. They're
Oh
like,
wow, good.
Mom's gonna be busy for the next. Let's go,
Sure, sure.
somewhere where she's not gonna, you know, catch us doing anything sneaky. But
Yeah.
my girl daughter, she likes to go down there and play with all the little trinkets. And, sometimes it's like an assembly line, like, okay, count out 5 hearts, put them in this bin. It's very helpful now that they're a little bit older that they can kind of help and put things in the bins if I need help. Usually, like, those are for like the party bags that I make. I make personalized party bags and they
Very
like
cool.
but yeah, they do help.
Yeah, no, that's really great. I feel like kids always love to do that. I had a friend of mine who I work with over at my house yesterday, and I saw this recipe on TikTok to make this like cinnamon dolce syrup, and I was making it for me, but I was like, "Hey Sid, like, you want to help me?" And she's like, oh, "Yes." So just just to be a part of the process, even though she wasn't gonna have any of it, she doesn't drink coffee, she didn't want it, but very fun, and kids just like to be a part of it, so that's really cool. So because you make your Play-Doh yourself, you probably had to dabble with a bunch of recipes to kind of figure
Mhm.
out what was going to work best and stuff. I know you can make Play-Doh out of all kinds of things. Kids put it in their mouth, all of those. I've made Play-Doh before with marshmallows. Like I know there's all kinds of different recipes. I found it on Pinterest and just did it one time for a class I was working with. But how did you pick out of all the variant recipes, like kind of what you wanted to stick with? And if, yeah, we'll start with that.
Well, like traditionally, I think when you think about Play-Doh, well, I know when I was younger, you would make it in a hot pot with a wooden spoon and like it took
Mm-hmm.
like elbow grease. I'm like, I can't sit there and do that. So I found a way to, I think it was to dissolve the sugar or heat up the sugar in the flour when you have it in like a hot pot. So I found a way to do it a little bit faster with boiling hot water and you put the salt in
I
the,
didn't even know there's sugar in it.
not sugar. Oh my God. Sugar. Not salt.
Oh, okay, okay. No, I
Salt.
was like, oh, I haven't made it that way. That's so funny.
Oh, the salt. I found like a step that you could skip where you kind of dilute the salt so it makes it less grainy in the Play-Doh and makes the Play-Doh a little bit more smoother.
Oh,
But yeah,
good.
a while to figure out, okay, how am I going to do this and do it in big batches?
Right.
What's good for my time and
Sure.
not create a mess and like work out these muscles too much. So,
Exactly, yeah.
and I think that the hardest part was realizing that the cream of tartar, which is like a key ingredient in
Mhm.
Play-Doh, um, costs the most. So I put like a lot of cream of tartar in my Play-Doh just because it lasts longer and I like it.
It's like
So
really smooth, right?
yeah, it makes it really smooth and yeah, so that's the part that like I spend a lot of money on cream of tartar.
That's so, yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've used it in recipes before too. I don't think I remember putting that in Play-Doh either, so I feel like if I made it just like not looking at something, I wouldn't have remembered that part.
Super pliable and soft.
Okay, no, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Well, that's good. I think that another thing that is proven in so many businesses, but like trial and error and having to figure it out and what works best from you, especially when there's so many different options. It like just with you explaining that just shows that you've taken the time to really learn to perfect your craft, to for what you want to offer to other people. So that's really important and that's really cool. So, so how do you work to get your name out? So a lot of people use social media, like you said, Instagram and other platforms like that are really great. But also from people that I've talked to recently, a lot of people say like word of mouth
Yeah.
is even better for them. So for you and your business, what has been the best way to get the word out about what you do?
I think, I mean, I'm okay with social media in general. And how
You said you're not.
no, I'm blown away at how fast social
Oh, oh,
media.
oh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
expand a business, I mean, I wouldn't say that's probably, I mean, I do get a lot of people in different, which is amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited when I get like orders from people that I don't even know. And that's, I
Sure.
think, beginning, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I don't even know these
Absolutely.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but a lot of it started with just like in town, word of mouth, mom's club. And then, it was maybe someone would buy one for a gift. And then, having labels on there, your website, so people can say, oh my God, this is a great gift. Let me, go to this website and buy one for someone else. So kind of just through word of mouth, spreading it through birthday gifts. And I'm big on like party favors and doing little gift bags. And I kind of see that as like almost free advertisement. I
Yeah, I
might
agree. Mm-hmm.
a little less for those bags just because I know that they're going to be going to maybe like 20 different homes. So for me to like take a little bit of a cut on that and realize that they're going to be going to someone new and maybe they'll look at my business card or the sticker and say, oh, maybe I'll go on this site, so I think that that has helped. And I think another way that I've gained followers or people to like try it is just giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
The giveaway thing is kind of new to me, but um, if I have like something that's unique and just maybe one of them, why not just give it as like a giveaway to someone for them to try out and
Yeah.
tag someone.
Yep. I think that, like you said, there's other people that do something similar, but I think that there's such a need for sensory type materials and activities and things for, like I said, both kids, just kids in general, to work with their hands, to like, be able to be moving around and just have hands on activities and things like that. So I think what you're doing is such an awesome idea. I feel like you will continue to grow as people learn about you, and like you said, even just like giving people samples and at the parties and different stuff, I think that that's a key way to expand, and they like it, and then even if they bring it as like a gift, like you said, for someone else's party, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I think the hard part too is, seeing it on the website or even, you know, just seeing one present. You don't really know until you see a kid like play with it
Yeah,
and realize that they enjoy it and you don't have to give them any instruction. They'll figure it out. And
definitely.
that's my favorite, to like give it to someone and just see how they play with it or manipulate the objects or have like creative play. And when I did like a couple pop-up like events, like almost like farmers markets, and I would set
Oh,
up a
cool.
table and have a whole bunch out there and over, and that was like a huge selling point too because the kids didn't want to leave the table. The parents are like,
Yeah.
okay, why won't they come with me? So
Right.
just them play and kind of self-direct their play is like nice to see.
Yeah, no, definitely. And each kid, like you said, is going to manipulate it different. I think it's really cool that because you have your own kids too that are young, you kind of through them learn about different trends too and things that are going on and that they like. So that probably helps a lot with kind of, things that you think about to put into new kits and everything like that. And playing's fun. Like, who doesn't like to use Play-Doh and just kind of like,
I
I don't know, like I do. I'm
I
24 years old. I'm so interested. It's so fun.
It is.
It is fun. So yeah, I mean, and that's so exciting for you to have the opportunity to see that too at the market. I feel like farmers market are so beneficial for small businesses. I think that those are such a eye
Now,
opener with what you can do with your
yeah,
business.
go to them really. I mean, I haven't signed up for one in a while, so because of
Right.
COVID, but yeah,
I
it's
know.
to meet new people.
Mhm. And then like-minded people, because all those people are also like starting their own businesses, and so you can like run ideas past each other, and just the like-mindedness helps you to grow a lot. So over the course of quarantine, because we've been inside and things are just different, have you seen your business grow a lot in that time frame because maybe you've had more time to focus on it, or just more people are online looking at different things to order?
Yeah, I do feel like um, feel like this year I did really well because of that. I mean, I'm not saying because of that, but I think I did have a lot more sales because people were looking for things to do at home with their kids that
Definitely.
made where they don't have to go out and buy all the supplies.
Hmm.
And I do think that it did help me. At the very beginning, I was really reluctant because I think everybody was in limbo, like in March, like they had known how long it was really going to last. I mean, I think everybody was just trying to make do and like do puzzles and
Sure, entirely.
house. But then
Hmm.
when it got real and we were really not going anywhere, that's where I saw like kind of the shift. Like I need more than just what I have at my house.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that quarantine for so many people has been such a good thing, and the small businesses have been building like crazy,
Yeah.
and that's one of the most exciting parts of a lot of the people that I've interviewed have started their businesses too during quarantine, which is really cool, and it's just been such an increase in so many great things, so that's awesome.
And it gives you time to like think as a business person, it gives you plenty of time to,
Reflect and yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for
all
sure.
of that stuff. Definitely, we've had a lot of downtime, which we would have never had any other time. We still have it, I guess, a lot of it, right? But
Yes.
it's not going to last forever, so enjoy it while we can, and this is the time to build. This is the prime time to build. Have you worked much with other types of sensory materials other than Play-Doh, even like slime or different things like that?
No, I mean, I would love to like transition to something uh, a little less work to make. Like
Yeah, definitely.
I know a friend that does like a sensory box too, and she does
Hmm.
a
She
couple
does.
of
Sorry, I
them.
cut
She's like,
out.
"Oh, I just bought." Oh, did you hear me?
No, I cut out really quick. What did you say that she?
So she does like sensory kits and some of them have Play-Doh in it and she's like, "Oh, I just buy the Play-Doh." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that sounds so nice." But like I
Yeah.
think mine unique, but I'm like, I would love to do like water beads or something like that. I did do like an art I mean stick like fun dough that you put water in and it like
I saw that.
grows.
Hmm.
So that like oh, we'll just see how it goes. This one kid I won't make Play-Doh. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool. And even that you have friends who are doing something similar to kind of learn off of is really cool too. And I think, like you said, because you've kind of mastered and gone through all these different recipes to figure out what you like, I agree that, or I can only imagine that it is difficult sometimes to make it all. But I feel like now that you've kind of got it down to, it probably seems a little easier than it did when you started out.
Yes.
What do you think the biggest learning curve has been for you starting your own business?
Oh gosh. I think I uh,
Mm-hmm.
managing it.
Mm-hmm.
I focus so much on where like I just spend all Saturday making like all colors of Play-Doh, and that's like first priority. Like you can't make a kit without the essential Play-Doh.
Right.
Um, and I think too time and then like supplies and inventory, trying to figure out how to manage all that because I am not a business person. I think this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
me. Um, on the other hand is, but yeah, managing all the inventory and like making stuff and that's definitely been a challenge.
Yeah, that, especially if you have no experience with anything like that and you're a mom, I bet it's been such a big thing.
And staying organized. Like I love
Hmm.
cooking and coming up with these new kits, but actually staying organized is challenging.
I missed the last part of what you said. Sorry, it cut you out.
Staying organized.
That's just, I feel like, such a struggle with like day to day life, just in general. I definitely have a hard time with that overall. So having to balance all the different stuff definitely makes it really hard.
Yeah.
But seems like you're doing an awesome job and making it work. So that's great. Super great. So where does your inspiration come from when you're creating your kits?
I just love art. love thinking of a theme, coming with an item, and all the different components that can go with it. I mean, the possibilities are completely
Completely endless, yeah.
but just like cost wise and fitting in the budget, I think that's like the thrill of it is, and then when it all comes together, you're like, oh my gosh, this looks so cute, like all of this together. That's my favorite part for sure.
That's so fun. And have you gotten a lot of your designs from your girls and them kind of telling you the things that they would like?
Yes. I feel like I'm more like girl heavy with my designs because obviously my girls help me pick it out,
Sure,
or
sure.
but definitely my oldest, have to go with unicorns, mermaids, all of those things. But as like new movies come out, or the whole Frozen thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just kind of in it with my two girls, so
Yeah,
um,
no, absolutely.
helpful. Like I don't really know much about boys, but I mean, I did a Star Wars. I don't even know the difference between Star Wars. To just try to like pull in those boy fans.
Yes, make it a little more diverse, but I mean that all makes sense. And the mermaid and all the snow, and I saw, like you said, the growing snow and the frozen stuff and all those cool things. And I feel like you're really mixing it up, even if some of them are more like girly. And this is like along with the question that I have, but do you want to talk about some of the boxes that you've already released to kind of share what's inside of them?
Yeah, I mean, I
Or
have two.
just some stuff on your website for people that haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, so I have two different sizes, like a smaller kit and a larger kit. The small
Mm-hmm.
one, more manageable, or you can like put it in your purse. Like I bring to the purse, has one Play-Doh ball and like little fixings to go with it. For example, if it was the mermaid kit, it would most likely come with like a blue glittery ball. Sometimes I use like beans, or some kind of like, I don't know, like tactile pieces that go with it so they
Right.
can Play-Doh, a
Mm-hmm.
figurine, seagrass, seashells, a lot of like things that you can imprint inside the Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sometimes like an extruder, I don't know if people know what that is, but you put the Play-Doh in, you squeeze it out, and like a shape comes out the other end.
I wouldn't have necessarily known exactly what that was when you said it that way.
My Google searches are very strange.
Yeah.
And then, the larger kits come with three bigger balls, more components. But again, a lot of simple items. And you kind of have to gear it towards like older kids or younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
And what, like the construction comes with like a little shovel and
Mm-hmm.
some black beans so they can, scoop inside,
Right.
the
Mm-hmm.
vehicle. So kind of thinking about that too when I make my kits, like what are they going to be actually doing with these items? Like you could line up the
Right.
beans a road or make it
Definitely.
as rock.
Trying to be in the mind of a child and figure it out too.
Right. So there's a bigger item and then a smaller item, but again, they're essentially the same, but just more components.
Yeah, it seems like even in the smaller ones, you still have a lot going on, which is good.
Yeah.
The bigger ones, just even more. So even if the first time around you ordered like a smaller one, and then we're like, ooh, but I want more in a different color, so then you kind of know
Right.
next time what you're gonna get in the bigger one. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So how often are you releasing new boxes? Like, because you said sometimes you might do like holiday thing. No, not like on a specific date, but you said sometimes you might do stuff for holidays or just when you think of them. Do you do like a new one every month, or how does that work? Like a subscription box kind of thing, or just when you think of them?
I was thinking of a subscription box, but I kind of like the way that I'm going. It's just how I feel. Like
Yeah,
spring,
definitely.
whether I'm in the mood to like shop for a new kit or if I feel like I need a refresh, or if people aren't really buying mermaids, maybe I could still do mermaids but like change it up. And it,
Yeah,
and it
definitely.
obviously is determined by, I guess, inventory and like how much stuff I have left. Like,
Hmm.
and like
Hmm.
a part that like I find challenging is inventory and like how much I want to buy. So like if I have
Sure.
like a bunch of like underwater sea things, I could then if I have a lot of stuff left, I could shift it to like underwater like sharks and fish, or I could like pull it back to
Hmm.
like, so yeah, I just kind of pick and choose and see what I have left. But I
Very
generally
smart.
do like 4 a year, maybe like 4 boys, 4 girls.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, and I feel like that is very smart and very businesswoman oriented because why, if something didn't sell the way you're doing it, why are you going to start completely new and like buy all this stuff, especially if it adds up super fast, right? So you're going to buy completely new things when you can just change it,
And then
even
I
if
get
you did it
excited.
at another part of the year.
And then I get excited with like Frozen stuff, and I'm like, oh, I see these figurines, I need to buy them. But then I'll buy like a limited quantity to not
Right.
go overboard.
That's smart. I am like entirely big, big thinker, big dreamer. And so I do my best to try and be reasonable, but I feel like oftentimes I'll buy too much. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's like better to overbuy than underbuy, but I guess it also depends on how much you're overbuying. So
Well,
that's a big balancing I'm learning.
yeah, it's hard to balance too because if you underbuy and then like there's so much demand for it, then you're like scrambling to buy more, like but more, you know?
And they could run out, like some things change all the time,
Yeah.
So it's definitely, but I think that's really smart. Recycling what you have and just using it for a brand new theme. And also, some of them are like gender neutral, like fish and underwater, under the sea is totally for, boys and girls would love that.
For sure, yeah.
I would love that. Any kid would love that. Any person would love that. It's so fun. And you can use your imagination. So I think that's one of the really cool things about this is like each kit, and like we talked about earlier, kids are also creative and different, which is a great part about being a child, right? But allowing them to really use their imaginations to build whatever they want is a really cool part of what you're doing. I think so.
Hard for parents, but I think I'm sure parents have realized a lot being home with their kids and allowing them to do things or not to do things that they used to do. But I think it's hard for parents to sometimes let go and just take out the messy Play-Doh and allow a little glitter in the Play-Doh and just
Agreed.
kind of do their thing. I mean, it's even hard for me to still do it, you know? And I'm like, no,
Sure.
no, Play-Doh today.
Right.
But no, sometimes it's easy to clean up and you know that they're going to have fun. And it's kind of surprising at how long it can actually hold their attention. And
For sure. Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's just worth the messy cleanup.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I think that, yeah, agree. 100%. What would you say differentiates what you're doing and just your business as a whole from other businesses that you've seen that are doing something similar or just like other Play-Doh, I guess?
Well, it's out of my house. Like
That's a big one. That's...
I do porch pickup.
Yeah,
um,
I saw that earlier. I saw you posted something and was like, oh, everything will be on the porch if you ordered. I saw that.
yeah, like lots of porch pickup. I mean, not my full-time job. So I think it's just different because, it's a passion of mine. It's just like kind of like a hobby that just went kind of crazy.
Sure.
Uh,
Those are the best kind.
yeah, and I really like I really love doing it and I don't always love making the Play-Doh, but it's from scratch and like each one is hand rolled and like smushed in glitter. And I mean, I think it takes time to make these kits, and I think that's what makes them a little special
Hmm.
from
And
other.
I agree with you entirely. Passion behind the things that you do, especially when it's something that's like a big part of your life, is so important. And it's like people can feel that and like know that you're passionate about it through your work, like through what you're presenting to them. They're like, love was put into this. So the fact that you just shared that and then it's evident through everything else that you've said is a really big deal because for businesses and people that are going to be successful, the passion needs to be there,
Yeah, for sure.
because when it's not, then it's kind of a bummer. And I feel like most of the time people can see through it too and they kind of know, but the passion, and I'm so glad that you're super into it and you're doing a really, really great thing for the
Thanks.
community, for kids all around, and the world.
And
Eventually it'll just grow and go.
it's kept me really busy, so it's good.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially in a time where we really need to find new
Yeah.
hobbies and do things like that. It's good. You said you've been doing this entirely for 2 years?
Yes, 2 years. Yeah.
Very cool. I'd love to see too. I think one of the greatest things too that you've said is that this started as just something for fun, and all of a sudden it just exploded. So that's so
Yeah,
wonderful.
thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. So you said that you do hope that you can make this full time in the future.
I don't know. I mean, I love the classroom, obviously. I've been going back like part-time.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, so I go to my daughter's school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They're actually back full-time. So,
Oh, wow.
they're 2 full days. And I really, really love the class. I don't know if I'll ever fully leave. I don't think I want to go back full time. So
Uh-huh.
that's my true passion too. So I think it would be hard to go all in
Mm-hmm.
uh, if it was just me. Like if I were to expand, I would definitely need to expand and get helpers,
Sure, sure, sure.
move it out of my kitchen. And I think that's like the hard part. Like if this is gonna expand anymore, like I need to really think about how I'm
Like
gonna
having an employee.
yeah, like how am I gonna logistically do that? I've never had to hire anybody and I do everything on my own. I would need that. And it's just kind of like I'm at that point now. It's like, do I want to go that route or don't I? And that's just something I really need to think about. I don't want to
Absolutely.
get any means, but it's either stay small and unique or expand and like kind of let my baby go and have other people help me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
something
I mean, it is a big decision.
that's hard for me to just kind of like let it go, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe there's some kind of way to incorporate it into the classroom too. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
teaching full time, you wouldn't be like having your students making Play-Doh. But I don't know. There's like, I don't
And
know,
then,
teaching. There's so many different ways to like mix it and mingle it too. But I get that like crossroad. It's kind of hard.
yeah,
Where do you, for some reason, I was thinking you lived close by, but where do you live?
I live 20 minutes south of Boston.
Boston?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I live in Maryland because we're not back in school, um,
They go to
and haven't
Catholic.
been all year. Okay.
So they actually went to the public school. I was a public school teacher. Had no intention. I mean, we're Catholic, but no intention of sending them to Catholic school. But during all of this, our school systems were kind of a mess, and I thought it was really important that they go.
Yeah.
Um, in our town, the Catholic school was really pushing to 5 days a week, so I jumped on board, and that's where they are, and that's where I'm working too. So uh,
Cool. No, that's
it,
awesome.
it's been definitely a shift, but I'm happy. I'm really, really happy with the decision I made, and hopefully, eventually, maybe we'll end up back in the public when things
Sure.
are back to normal.
I know in a couple years, right? Is your public school system back or they're not?
They're hybrid, so yeah, they're
Okay.
going days a week.
We're transitioning to hybrid um, in March, but we haven't been until now.
Oh my gosh.
The whole
Feel
year
like,
they've been at home.
yeah, this is just like it's really hard for me to wrap, I mean, anybody to wrap their mind around school teacher.
Yeah.
It's like my kids are in kindergarten. Like they need to see their teacher and their friends every day. And it's thankfully the school that we're at, it's really small and the classrooms are really small and they're doing, the right things I mean, they're taking
All the
safety,
precautions needed.
yeah, to make
Hmm.
it, and it's working so far. So I'm super
Yeah,
thankful.
that's great. At the school that I interned at when I was in college, all the kids for the most part that I work with now went there. That's how I know them. And they, like 10 plus kids, I talked to the guidance counselor from the school, and she told me like over 10 kids have transferred to private school this year for the same reason. And I talked to her about this before school started. So I can only, have done the same. And then one of my kids is going to private school next year just because of how the county's dealt with it.
I know it was a hard decision, but you know
It
what?
is.
So happy and they want to go back for next year. So I'm
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. And you have to do what's best for your kids. I know so many parents are struggling right now. So I feel like with what you're doing too is like easing them, like we said before, and just giving their kids something to do, because a lot of parents I talk to and just in general are having a really hard time having their kids home all the time because they can't stay home or they can't help them as much as they want to be able to. And no one would have ever expected this pandemic to last as long as it has.
Crazy.
Hopefully we see the end in sight somewhere new, right? We could go on about this forever. Well, it's very exciting to see how far you've come in the 2 years that you've been doing this. Like I told you, would love to order some kits for some of my kiddos. I think they would love them so much. So I'll send you a message about this afterwards. But do you have any tips for anyone that's looking to start a business or dabble into something new?
Take faith. I mean, if you really truly love it and you feel people would love it too, like give it a shot. I mean, even if it's small, like I mean, I started so small and like I love hearing those stories. Like, you know, just share it with other people. And if people are really excited about it, then really think about it. Like maybe this could actually work.
Mm-hmm. And if
Um,
you're really excited about it too, as like a potential business owner for the future too.
I think sometimes it's like hard to like, I guess, be brave and be like, well, other people think it's like special.
Definitely.
I do. Like you kind
For
of have
sure.
that. And I think like getting yourself out there and actually like posting it on Instagram or like telling people is like the hardest part
Yep.
for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
And there's so many different components that come into starting a small business, but you learn about it as you go. Every day
Yeah.
is a learning process, and don't give up if something doesn't work out in your favor.
Yeah. And I think the biggest fear is like, what if this doesn't work? Like, I'm
Definitely.
here, you know?
Fear of
So,
failure. Yeah,
yeah, I think that's just got to get over that.
you do. Right. Because you won't amount to any of the big things that you want to do if that's the case, if you focus on that. So, and where can everyone look to find you to go order kits, to send you messages, or to just check out your things when we are finished? Where can they find you?
So you can go online and go to simplyneed.com, or you can find me on Instagram too, which is, Simply Need. So you can
Perfect.
message me, whatever you want.
Awesome. I will tag you, both your website and your Instagram, in our chat, and it'll be posted on my Instagram. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you. I'm so excited for your business to boom and grow. And thank you so much for being here.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, have a great night. Bye bye.